right, we're live here on Dodgers Digest. Mike Nelson here with you with today's watch along. We got the Dodgers and the Braves kicking off a 3-game set from Dodger Stadium. Let's go through the Dodgers lineup. Of course, Freddie Freeman will be out. Got injured in the shower and will not be in today's lineup. Let's go through today. Shohei Ohtani leading off at DH. Mookie Betts batting second at shortstop. Batting third will be Teoscar Hernández, right fielder. Batting cleanup will be Michael Conforto. Big opportunity for the former Giant. Left fielder. Batting fifth will be Will Smith, the catcher. Batting sixth will be Tommy Edman, the second baseman. Batting seventh will be Max Muncy, the third baseman. Batting eighth will be Kike Hernandez, the first baseman, filling in for Freddie Freeman. And batting ninth will be Andy Pajes, the center fielder, batting ninth. Let's go through the Braves lineup. Michael Harris, the second, will be center fielder leading off. Austin Riley, the third baseman, batting second. Matt Olson, batting third, will be the first baseman. Marcell Ozuna will be the DH, batting cleanup. Ozzy Alves will be the second baseman, batting fifth. Drake Baldwin will be the catcher, batting sixth. Batting seventh will be Brian De La Cruz, left fielder. Jared Kelenic will be the right fielder, batting eighth. And then Orlando Arcia will be the shortstop, batting ninth. Then pitcher, of course, the big story for today will be Tyler Glasnow for the Dodgers, right? Making his first start of 2025. Super excited to see Tyler Glasnow. As we know, he has dealt with injuries. And then, of course, on the mound will be Grant Holmes will be the pitcher for the Braves. But Tyler Glasnow is the big story. What Tyler Glasnow are we going to see to start off today, right? That's going to be the question mark. What Tyler Glasnow are we going to see? It's been, that's going to be the question. We've seen him great during spring training, but this is the first time we're going to see him pitch in a real baseball game, right? A real game in such a long time. So I think that's where the interest in today's game will be, seeing Tyler Glasnow starting once again. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on Dodgers Digest. We're back here on Dodgers Digest, getting set here to start off today's game. And, of course, we got, I want to go through the comments real quick. We got Mike Boyer saying, let's go Dodgers, 6-0 in sight. That's right. Marlo, go Dodgers. Scotty, let's go. Jay Villanueva, let's roll. Let's go Dodgers. Thanks a lot, everybody who's tuning in. Comment below. We had a pretty cool live stream this morning with Brad J. Every Monday morning, we're doing this really cool live stream talking Dodger baseball at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, right? Every Monday morning, you're going to see myself and Brad talking about the boys in blue, right? So we had a cool stream. We had a lot of people watching, a lot of comments, a lot of questions. So you guys are always welcome to hop on every Monday. And then this week, we're going to have a watch-along tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we're going to do a live post game here on the channel. So we'll be talking to everybody live after, hopefully a Dodgers win, right? Hopefully a win on a Wednesday night, right? Got Jay Villain Show. Was a good live stream. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks a lot, Jay Villain. Yeah, it was a great live stream. We talked about basically everything that's going on with our Dodgers. 5-0 right now. The team is looking super good. And Brad was already saying we're going 8-0. So hopefully Brad didn't jinx it. But as we know, the Braves are coming into this game with an 0-4 record. It has been a struggle for them, right? No doubt about it. So that's going to be the question, what Braves team are we going to see tonight, right? Because it has been definitely a struggle for them. Against San Diego, they got swept, right? But let's check out today's game. Tyler Glasnow is getting set to go. And we're getting set here at Dodger Stadium. The first pitch to Harris, the second is in there for strike one. Michael Harris, the second, leadoff batter. Hit .264 last season, 16 homers, 48 RBI. Pretty solid year. 0-1 pitch is in there for strike two. So great start for Tyler Glasnow. A big crowd today at Dodger Stadium. Cool day for sure. We're not used to the spring weather in LA, right? We're not used to it at all. Everybody's got their jacket on. Cold day. 0-2 pitches in there for strike three. Big strikeout for Tyler Glasnow. Curveball, able to get Harris the second. So great curveball there from Tyler Glasnow. As you hear Oral on the broadcast talking about it. Just a beautiful pitch from Tyler. So Austin Riley will be the number 2 hitter for the Braves, third baseman. First pitch to Riley is going to be hit foul out of play. This Braves team played a Sunday night game last night, right? Last Sunday night, they had to play, well, not really Sunday night, right? Because it's definitely changed over time, right? Now it's a Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock. 0-1 pitch is outside for ball one. So, yeah, definitely the Braves had less of a layoff than the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers didn't play yesterday. They had a whole day off, rare day off on Sunday. So they had time to rest. 1-1 pitch is in there for strike two. Right down the middle, fastball. Austin Riley swings right through that. 97 miles an hour. Right down the middle. The 1-2 pitch is going to be in there for strike three. Yes, big call by the umpire. Strikeout looking. Austin Riley thought it was low, but it's clearly a strike. Good call from the umpire. Just nips that bottom corner. 98 miles an hour. Great pitch from Tyler Glasnow. So what a start for Tyler, huh? Tyler that, missed the second half of the year with injury. And, that's, of course, we're going to have to see what Tyler Glasnow we see, this year. 0-2 pitch is upstairs for ball one to the number 3 hitter, Matt Olson. First baseman at 29 home runs last year, 98 RBI, former Oakland Athletic. 1-0 pitch to Olson is in there for strike one. Olson, left-handed batter, definitely has power, right? Almost 30 home runs. And, this Braves team, they're going to score runs. They still have the pretty solid infield. It's been an infield that we're going to, of course, talk about throughout this series. 1-1 pitch is in there for strike two. We'll go to 1-2. Their infield, with Riley and Olson and Albiz and all these guys, they've been together. Orlando Arcia, all these guys have been together for quite a bit, right? So they've definitely had, some time, to get, to kind of get used to each other for sure. So this Braves team is not going to be, they've been a pushover to start off this year, but we'll see how they do as the year goes along. The 1-2 pitch is going to be down and away for ball two. Believe it went off the plate. So nobody on, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. The score is 0-0 between the Braves and the Dodgers. Game one of this 3-game set. Two pitches down and away for ball three. And, of course, in L.A., there's also another pretty big game happening just down the road at Crypto.com Arena. The Rockets taking on the Lakers. So we'll be keeping you up to date with that game as well. I know a lot of you are Laker fans. 3-2 pitch to Olson's going to be hit to the second baseman, Edman. He throws it to first to Hernandez for the out. And we'll go to the bottom of the first inning with the score 0-0. Let's go to those comments. We got Kali saying Dodgers power. Of course, if you're down with the Dodgers, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe. Jay Villain says, let's go blue. Would love to see at least 5 solid innings from Glasnow. I believe that's a good observation for sure. We want to see at least 5 solid innings. Hopefully we get 6, right? But I think 5 is definitely going to be the goal that Dave Roberts has in mind, right? I think that's going to be a good solid number for sure that they're going to be looking at tonight. But yeah, looking forward to seeing no Freddie Freeman tonight. Kike Hernandez, of course, slips in as first baseman, a player that plays all over the field. So that's what the Dodgers are going to have to work with tonight, right? With no Freddie Freeman. We got Ohtani batting first, Betts second, Teoscar Hernández batting third for the Dodgers. And of course, Ohtani, hopefully he could get some more home runs right in this series. That's what everybody's hoping for. More extra base hits, and picked up his first stolen base on Saturday, first one of the year. He had a bunch last year. It's going to be interesting to see how many he gets this year, right? Definitely something to look at. As we get set here for the bottom of the first inning. So we're getting set here for the bottom of the first inning. Ohtani leading off. Of course, the score is 0-0 between the Braves and Dodgers. Glasnow, of course, went 1-2-3 there in the first. So the first pitch to Ohtani. Holmes on the mound for the Braves. Grant Holmes. First pitch to Ohtani is outside for ball 1. Count will go to 1-0. 1-0 pitch to Ohtani is outside for ball 2. Holmes does not want to mess around with Ohtani, right? You can see with the first 2 pitches to Ohtani, he's not messing around here. Doesn't want to mess around and leave a pitch inside. The 2-0 pitch to Ohtani is down and away for ball 3. So 3-0 count. Ohtani getting ahead early. If the Holmes, has not... he's not found the strike zone so far. If that happens, it's going to be a long night for the Braves. 3-0 pitch to Ohtani is going to be in there for strike 1. It's been Ohtani batting .333 to kick off the year, a homer, a couple home runs, but doing pretty well for the start of the year for sure. 3-1 pitch is in there for strike 2, so it'll be a full count now as Holmes fights back to, of course, make this a more competitive bat for sure. It's crowded tonight at Dodger Stadium. Always a lot of Braves fans for sure. Full count, 3-2 is going to be hit foul up the first base line. First baseman Matt Olson for the Braves. Second baseman Ozzie Albies. Shortstop Orlando Arcia. Austin Riley, third baseman. Drake Baldwin, the catcher for the Braves. Brian De La Cruz, left field. Michael Harris, the second. Center field. And Jared Kelenic, right fielder. 3-2 pitches in there for ball 4, down and away. So the Dodgers have their first base runner of the game. Leadoff walk for Ohtani. And now Mookie Betts will come to the plate. And that's how it's going to be tonight. I think the Dodgers just got to get base runners on. Just got to get some pressure on Holmes. And this should be a game the Dodgers should be able to take care of business, right? As the crowd goes crazy as they announce Mookie Betts' name. Because, come on, after Friday, Mookie is a big hero in L.A. for sure. The first pitch to Mookie is outside for ball 1. A little bit surprised with that call. Looked like it nipped the strike zone, but umpires saw it different. So 1-0 count. Dodgers have a runner at first and Ohtani. No out in the bottom of the first. Score 0-0. 1-0 pitch is outside for ball 2. Curveball had just got off the strike zone. course, Mookie Betts, they're showing his basically the graphic right now where he's hitting the ball, and definitely right down the middle is where Mookie's hitting that ball right now. Is that next pitch is down the middle, but Betts just misses hitting that, goes foul, hits it foul behind home plate. But he was on that pitch. I mean, he was on that pitch for sure. As that is fouled right behind home plate. As you know, when you foul a ball straight back, it means that you were on it. So, good swing for sure for Mookie. As they check on the runner Ohtani, he gets back in time. You know, with Ohtani, you got to watch out, right? The Braves are definitely looking at potentially him stealing some bases. So the 2-1 pitch to Betts is fouled away again. Fouled over the right field line, so the count will go to 2-2. They're showing the replays of Friday insanity, right? You know, a couple home runs, the walk-off 3-run shot in the bottom of the 10th. Just a super exciting game this past Friday for the Dodgers. The 2-2 pitch to Betts is in there for ball 3. So the count will go full once again. So back-to-back batters that Holmes has had to pitch a full count. So already 12 pitches for Grant Holmes, the Braves starting pitcher, right-handed pitcher for the Braves. 3-2 pitch is going to be hit foul up the third base line. $13 pitches so far for Holmes. You know, interested to see how the Dodgers, Mookie Betts, with Ohtani steal here, 3-2 count, nobody out, right? As Betts is going to hit this deep to left field, going way back, all the way De La Cruz at the wall. He makes the out, makes the catch. But that was hit real deep by Mookie Betts, almost a home run there in the first inning. Ball kind of died out there in left field. We know it's a cool night at Dodger Stadium. The ball doesn't carry as well on these cool nights. If this was August and 90 degrees, it probably would have been a home run. But De La Cruz makes the put out there right at the warning track. So big fly out for Mookie. And now we got Teoscar Hernández coming to the plate. Batting third tonight with Freeman out with an ankle injury. First pitch is down and away for ball 1. This year hitting 158. Kind of a slow start for Teoscar. A double, a homer, but 6 RBI. But definitely a 3 for 19 to start off the year. 1-0 pitch is going to be hit deep to center field. It's going way back, and it's gone for a 2-run shot. The Dodgers are leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning, as that is completely crushed out of the ballpark, as Teoscar now has 8 RBIs this season, his second homer of the year, and absolutely crushed out of the ballpark. Just as I was saying, he got off to a slow start. He hits a 2-run homer, so absolutely a massive start here for the Dodgers, and exactly what the Dodgers got to do against Grant Holmes, right? Put a lot of pressure on him. And, that's the worst way to start a game, right? Already giving up 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. It's not the best way to start the game if you're Grant Holmes. Tommy Edman, the batter. First pitch to Edman is down and away, ball 1. 33 home runs last year for Teoscar. Already got a couple this year. And super exciting to see that. 1-0 pitch is going to be hit foul up the first base line to make the count 1-1. I should say Michael Conforto is batting now, not Tommy Edman. Michael Conforto, the batter. My mistake. 1-1 pitch to Conforto is going to be down and away for ball 2. Nineteen pitches so far for Grant Holmes. 2-1 pitch to Conforto is going to be in there for strike 2. 2-2 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. Conforto 2 for 2 in his career against Holmes with a couple doubles. 2-2 pitch is fouled away up the left field line. Off to a great start so far. The Dodgers already leading here in the first inning. 2-2 pitch is going to be upstairs for ball 3. As Conforto asks for time here in the first inning. Whereas tomorrow we'll see Dustin May, and then Wednesday we'll see Blake Snell in the rubber game of the series. 3-2 pitches outside for ball 4 as Holmes now walks his second batter of the inning. He's had a 3-2 count in 3 of the 4 batters he's faced. Already has 23 pitches. It hasn't been the best start here for Holmes. And now we'll see Will Smith, the catcher, coming up, batting 5th for the Dodgers. And, Dodgers definitely being patient for sure with Holmes, right? We've seen this the last few years with the Dodgers as they have the rise of analytics. The Dodgers trying to be more of a patient team where they, not going to swing at bad pitches and kind of, really working the pitcher, right? We've seen that for sure the last few years with the rise of analytics. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on the stream today. Make sure to subscribe. This is the first time you're seeing a Dodgers Digest. First pitch to Smith is inside for ball 1. Will Smith, one of the best hitting catchers for sure in the game. The Dodgers are lucky to have this guy. It's been super important for the Dodgers for sure. 1-0 pitch to Smith is upstairs, or in there for strike 1. Looked a little high. Umpire calls it a strike. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing here in the bottom of the first inning. 2-run homer for Teoscar Hernandez. 1-1 pitch to Smith is swung on and missed for strike 2. "26 pitches so far for Grant Holmes. It's been definitely a struggle, to say the least, for the Braves starting pitcher. 1-2 pitch to Smith is swung on and missed for strike 3. So we'll go to the top of the second inning with the Dodgers leading 2-0. Back here on Dodgers Digest. Mike Nelson here with you. We got the Dodgers leading the Braves 2-0 from Dodger Stadium. Of course, going to be keeping you up to date as well with the Lakers who are playing just down the road. Lakers Rockets up 3 on the Lakers, 19-16. It's definitely been a slow start for sure for the purple and gold. But as we know, this is a big story the last few weeks with Luka Doncic coming to the Lakers. We know a lot of you, we've seen the comments, everybody, of course, excited for sure with the Lakers for sure. So we'll be keeping everybody up to date with what's going on out at Crypto.com Arena. So the first pitch to Ozuna is going to be in there for ball 1. The next pitch will be in there for strike 1. The count will go to 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is going to be upstairs, and we'll get in there for strike 2. Count goes to 1-2. Great pitch there from Glasnow. Getting it in there. And we've seen, some great pitches for sure from Glasnow. He's pitching, of course, a pretty formidable hitter right now in Marcell Ozuna. The 1-2 pitch to Ozuna is going to be hit foul up the third base line. See Glasnow. You see the movement on those off-speed pitches. Looking at the replay, it's definitely pretty awesome to see. 1-2 pitch to Ozuna's upstairs to make the count 2-2. Of course, Grant Holmes had a really rough inning, to say the least, for the Braves. So we'll see how the Dodgers capitalize on that as the night goes along. 3-2 pitches, 2-2 pitches upstairs for ball 3, so the count will go to 3-2. The 3-2 pitch is going to be upstairs to make the count for, of course, to walk Ozuna. So that will be ball 4. So that will be the first base runner for the Atlanta Braves. First walk of the game for Glasnow. And now Ozzy Albies will be coming up for the Braves. Albies, second baseman tonight for Atlanta. First pitch to Albies is upstairs to make the count 1-0. Talking about how Albies is the longest tenured Brave. Kind of hard to believe he's been with the Braves that long. 9 years with Atlanta. Kind of crazy. 1-0 pitch to Albies is in there for, going to say actually low. Looked like it was in the strike zone. So, yeah, Tyler Glasnow doesn't like the call, and I agree with Tyler because that looked like it was in the strike zone. We'll see if that's not important in this at-bat. So the count will go to 2-0, but questionable call from the umpire. 2-0 pitch is down and away for ball 3. So the count will go 3-0. It just shows you how, these calls that umpires make are super important, right? Very important to say the least in many ways, right? Super important. 3-0 pitch is going to be upstairs for ball 4. Now Glasnow walks his second batter. So back-to-back walks, and Drake Baldwin, the catcher, will now be coming up. So the Braves at first and second with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing, but the Braves kind of have their first little rally going. And the question is going to be how Glasnow reacts to it, right? Which is how it works in baseball, right? You can always have controversy. You're always going to have adversity, I should say. And the question is, how do you react to it as a pitcher, right? I think that's the big key, right? So first and second, Drake Baldwin, the batter for the Braves. 2 on, nobody out. First pitch to Baldwin is in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. 0-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 1. First and second, nobody out. Braves with a big opportunity. The Tigers in the last series didn't take advantage of these opportunities, right? We saw that in that series. They didn't take advantage of it. And we know they ended up, of course, really costing them at the end. So As the next pitch is in there for strike 2, the count will go to 1-2. We saw that all, series long. The Tigers not taking advantage of that, and in the end, that really cost them, right? 1-2 pitch is going to be hit deep to center field. Andy Pajes is going way back to the warning track. He's going to make the catch right at the wall. Big out for the Dodgers, as that was just narrowly going to go out. Could have just been a 3-run shot, right? It was so close to going out of the ballpark. Just narrowly missed hitting a home run. As Drake Baldwin hits this deep into center field, with Pajes makes the out. The runner at second does tag to third, so the Braves have first and third with one out here in the top of the second inning. It's kind of crazy. I mean, the Dodgers have had, think about it, all the games they've had since coming to the States, they've had adversity. Their pitchers have had, there's been runners in scoring position early in all these games, right? Early in all the games against the Tigers. And now it looks like Dodgers are appealing to see if Ozuna actually tagged second. Did he actually tag up, right? The Dodgers, of course, threw the ball back to second. Now the umpires are having a meeting, so the Dodgers might actually get a double play out of this. The question is, did Ozuna tag up second before heading to third, right? You see that all the time, right? Guys forgetting to touch second or kind of grazing the bag. And this is a big moment here. Dodgers might be able to get a double play out of this. Umpires still talking it over. And they just said that the call will stand on the field. There will be no double play. They said Ozuna did touch second. So first and third, one out for the Braves. And, of course, the new batter will be Brian De La Cruz, the left fielder, who made a big catch in the first inning, robbing Mookie Betts of a home run. So the Braves fly ball away from scoring their first run of the game. Glasnow already 28 pitches in this game so far. First pitch to De La Cruz is down and away for ball 1. Will Smith, of course, behind the plate tonight for the Dodgers. Glasnow, first kind of key moment in this game, right? It's how can he pitch through this? First and third to De La Cruz is outside for ball 2. The count will go to 2-0. 233 last year, 21 homers with the Marlins and Pirates last year, so definitely some pop for De La Cruz. bottom of the second inning. Max Muncy leading off for the Dodgers. First pitch to Muncy is outside for ball one. Grant Holmes, of course, the pitcher for the Braves. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing after Teoscar Hernández home run back in the first inning. 1-0 pitch to Muncy's in there for strike one. Been a good start so far for the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. 1-1 pitch is going to be hit foul off of the backstop to make the count 1-2. You know, we were talking about today on the stream with Brad about Max Muncy and whether this is going to be his final year with the Dodgers or not, right? Final year of his contract. Veteran third baseman, has been with the Dodgers almost 10 years now. 1-2 pitch is fouled away up the first base line. And that's going to be a big decision the Dodgers are going to have to make this upcoming offseason, right? You know, are they going to be able to keep Max Muncy or not? That's going to be the big, question mark for sure. The Dodgers are going to have to face as an organization. The 1-2 pitch is going to be hit foul up the first base line, so good at bat so far for Muncy. Holmes up to 34 pitches tonight. So Holmes has definitely been working hard tonight for sure. It's been a challenge, to say the least, for Grant Holmes. The 1-2 pitch to Muncy is going to be hit foul off of the catcher Baldwin. Yes. So that'll be his third straight foul ball here. The count will remain 1-2. Talking about the torpedo bats on the broadcast. The Yankees had, 9 homers Saturday, 4 yesterday, so that's 13 in 2 days. And everybody's kind of talking about these torpedo bats all across baseball, right? Something that's going to be talked about all year long. As Muncy's going to hit this between first and second for a base hit. So Muncy grabs a base hit to start off the second inning. The Dodgers have a runner at first. And Kike Hernandez will now be the batter, first baseman for the Dodgers tonight, with Freeman out with an ankle injury. And they're talking about right now on the broadcast how no Dodger player at the moment is using the torpedo bats, right? Nobody's using them. So definitely going to be something that's going to be looked on. I'm sure there'll be somebody with the Dodgers using it by the end of the year. As the first pitch to Hernandez is in there for strike one. I'm sure there'll be some player as we go along the season that decides to use it, right? I'm sure there will be. I'd be surprised if that didn't happen, right? 0-1 pitch to Hernandez is going to be hit to the shortstop, and he gets to second and first for one for the double play. Good play there by the Braves infield, getting the double play. Arcia to, of course, Albies to first to Olsen. And double play. Hernandez grounds into. So 2 outs now here in the bottom of the second inning. And Andy Pajes will now come up to the plate. Number 9 hitter, center fielder. So 2 outs, nobody on. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. Here in the bottom of the second inning. The first pitch to Pajes is going to be upstairs for ball 1. Of course, Andy Pajes, young player. Everybody looking at what he's been playing every day to start off the year. So definitely, Roberts trusts him as Pajes fouls us off the netting behind home plate. Definitely, having trust in Pajes has been something that Dave Roberts is doing to start off the year after the good spring training that he had, right? Kind of beating out James Outman, right? That was gonna be the big question: Outman or Pajes? Looks like Pajes won his job. As the 1-1 pitch is fouled away to make the count 1-2. And they're talking about, of course, the Oral Hershiser's talking about the torpedo bats and his thoughts. As Pajes is going to hit this to center field, and Harris the second's got it. So we'll go to the top of the third inning with the Dodgers leading 2-0. We're back here on Dodgers Digest. Orlando Arcia, the batter now for the Braves. First pitch is outside for ball one. Glasnow has looked good to start off this game. 1-0 pitch is inside for ball two. The count will go to 2-0. 35 pitches so far for Glasnow. The 2-0 pitch is going to be in there for strike one. Arcia, the shortstop for the Braves, number 9 hitter. 2-1 pitches is going to be down and away for ball three. So 3-1 count to Arcia, number 9 hitter. As Glasnow was able to get through that jam back in the second. 3-1 pitch is going to be fouled away. Make the count 3-2. It's been a big crowd tonight. I believe there was a giveaway. For those that are following the giveaway schedule, I believe there was a giveaway at Dodger Stadium. Could be why it's such a big crowd tonight at Dodger Stadium for this game on a Monday night, right? Not usually common you see that on Mondays. There's a 3-2 pitch is in there for strike three. Good pitch there from Glasnow. Fastball, rising fastball to get Arcia. So we'll go to the top of the lineup now to Michael Harris II. Center fielder for the Braves. He struck out his first time up. Glasnow with 3 strikeouts, his first time through the lineup. First pitch to Harris II is in there for strike one. Harris II, left-handed batter, center fielder. 16 homers, 48 RBI last season, hit 264. 0-1 pitch to Harris II is swung on and missed for strike two, I should say. The count will go to 0-2. 41 pitches so far for Glasnow. And, we're going to be keeping an eye on that pitch count all night long, right? Because, Glasnow had a surgery. First game in such a long time. It's going to be a talking point. As the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike three. As Harris II strikes out for his second time tonight. And now Austin Riley will come to the plate. Glasnow gets his 4th K of the night. 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. Nobody on for the Braves so far in this inning. Glasnow trying to have his second 1-2-3 inning of the night. First pitch to Riley's down and away for ball one. Talking about how Glasnow was 3rd in the National League in strikeout rate. In the National League, kind of hard to believe. As the next pitch to Riley's fouled away upstairs and out of play. Count will go to 1-1. It's kind of crazy to think that his strikeout rate was so high last year in a season where he didn't pitch the whole year, right? Just kind of crazy how well Glasnow pitched in the few games that he had with the Dodgers. 1-1 pitch to Riley, swung on and missed for strike two. Pitch was clearly out of the strike zone, down and away. He was able to fool Riley. Two outs in the top of the third inning. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. So the 1-2 to Riley is going to be in there for strike three as Glasnow strikes out the side. Big inning for Glasnow. We go to the bottom of the third inning with the Dodgers leading 2-0. back here at Dodgers Digest. Ohtani leading off for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the third inning. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. First pitch is in there for strike 1. It's been a big day so far for Glasnow, getting a bunch of strikeouts. Next pitch is in there for strike 2, getting Ohtani to swing and miss. Glasnow striking out the side in the top of the third, and that's the story we kind of led with in tonight's broadcast, right? How Glasnow was going to look in his first start of the year, and it's looked great so far. 0-2 pitch is going to be, looks like he swung and missed. He sure did, and now it's going to be a tough play for Baldwin, throwing it over to first, but he's able to get Ohtani in time. As, it's one of those rare swings and misses that the catcher is unable to field. The ball kind of went to the right, and Ohtani took off running for first, but Drake Baldwin did a good job to recover himself and throw that ball over to first to get Ohtani on the swinging strike 3. So 1 out here for Holmes and the Braves as Ohtani strikes out, and Mookie Betts will come up, who narrowly missed hitting a home run back in the first. His first pitch to Betts is in there for strike 1, getting Betts to swing and miss on that curveball. Betts hit 289 last year, 19 homers, 75 RBI. Let's not forget that Betts missed some time. Remember a few months when he, of course, injured his wrist, getting hit by a pitch. So there was definitely there was a period of time where we didn't see Betts, right? So there was no doubt about that. Probably the numbers would have been better if he had played the whole year. Next pitch to Mookie's in there for strike 2. That count will now go to 1-2. Bottom of the third inning, Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. 1 out, nobody on for the Dodgers. Grant Holmes still in the game, 48 pitches so far. He's definitely had to work for his outs tonight, as the next pitch is going to be, it's a tough play for Olsen at third, and he's not going to have a throw at all. And Betts is able to get in safe at home. That was a tough play for Riley, I should say, at third. Really tough play for Austin Riley coming up. And Riley tried to field that with his arm, but Betts reaches, it's impossible to make that play, right? And so Betts reaches, first hit of the night for Betts. And Teoscar Hernández, who had a home run his first time up, will be the batter. First pitch to Hernández is upstairs for ball 1. And Mookie Betts, as we know, has definitely had had a rough month of March. And definitely trying to work back to feeling 100%. Betts, of course, didn't play on Saturday. Had the day off from the Dodgers. Dodgers trying to rest him, not trying to play him 3 days in a row. That's why you saw the standing ovation tonight. As the count goes to 1-1 to Hernandez. That's why you saw the standing ovation tonight for Mookie Betts before the game after, of course, his big night on Friday. The 1-1 pitch to Hernandez is swung on and missed to make the count 1-2. Fans trying to, appreciate what Mookie did on Friday, having the walk-off home run in the extra innings, and definitely showing their appreciation. As they check on Betts over at first. Close game out in Crypto.com Arena. Rockets 48, Lakers 47. A couple teams looking like they're going to make the playoffs this year in the NBA. Playing well. As Hernandez fouls off the 1-2 pitch out of play. All season long, definitely as the playoffs come along, we're going to be keep an eye out for, when the Lakers are playing. I know a lot of you Laker fans out there. We'll be keeping you up to date here on Dodgers Digest. The 1-2 pitch is going to be down and away to make the count 2-2. So 2-2 the count to Hernandez. Betts at first, 1 out. Bottom of the third inning. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. 2-2 pitch to Hernandez is going to be hit foul up the right field line. Just staying alive. If you're hopping on the stream for the first time, we know we got a lot of you watching. As usual, we appreciate everybody for their support. And make sure to subscribe. This is the first time you're arriving to Dodgers Digest. The algorithm is definitely a strange thing on YouTube. The 2-2 pitch is down and away to make the count 3-2. And another full count for Holmes. He's had so many full counts in this game. Already 56 pitches and rolling the third inning. So Exactly what the Braves didn't want, right? Their starting pitcher, a high pitch count. That's not what you want if you're the Braves, right? There's no way you want that. The 3-2 pitch is going to be down and away for ball 4. So the Dodgers have first and second with one out here in the bottom of the third inning. And Michael Conforto will come to the plate. He walked his first time up. And that's going to be the question with the pitcher Holmes, right? Hasn't really been in control of this game at all, right? He's been wild. He's walked batters. He's had a lot of full counts, and the Dodgers have been capitalizing on that so far. The first pitch to Conforto is upstairs for ball 1. Just having a really hard time finding the strike zone. Grant Holmes tonight for the Braves. Of course, Conforto already walked in this game. Already had 3 walks in this game, Holmes. The 1-0 pitch is outside for ball 2. Dodgers have first and second with one out in the bottom of the third inning. They lead 2-0 against the Braves. Michael Conforto, the batter, left-handed batter. Holmes, right-handed pitcher. Betts at second, Hernandez at first. The 2-0 pitch is going to be hit deep to center field. That's going to go off the wall, and that will score Mookie Betts. Hernandez will go into third. Conforto slides into second. The Dodgers lead 3-0 as Conforto gets a double off of the wall. And the Dodgers have second and third with one out here in the bottom of the third inning as a nightmarish night for Grant Holmes continues against the best lineup in baseball, right? As Conforto, one of the new additions for the Dodgers, picking up his first RBI as a Dodger. Will Smith will come to the plate. He struck out his first time up. So 60 pitches now for Grant Holmes. First pitch to Smith is going to be hit foul and out of play. Will Smith has been one of the best hitting catchers in baseball the last few years, and that's why the Dodgers locked him up for 10 years, right? 10-year deal for Will. 0-1 pitch to Smith is going to be hit foul and out of play to make the count 0-2. A fly ball would give the Dodgers another run, right? It's 3-0 right now, so a fly ball would tack on another run. Will Smith has 35 sacrifice flies since 2021, the most in baseball. That's pretty crazy. Over 30 sacrifice flies. 0-2 pitches upstairs for ball 1. Think about that. Over 30 sacrifice flies, just one player. That's pretty a remarkable stat right now that they just showed on the broadcast. The 1-2 pitch to Smith is going to be hit foul and out of play up the left field line. Dodgers 3, Braves nothing here in the bottom of the third inning. They have runners at second and third. Conforto at second. Hernandez at third. 1-2 pitches down and away for ball 2 to make the count 2-2. Tommy Edman on deck for the Dodgers. The 2024 NLCS MVP. Kind of crazy to say that, right? Who would have thought that? Edman getting the NLCS MVP. 2-2 to Smith is going to be outside for ball 3. Another full count for Grant Holmes. 66 pitches tonight for the Braves starting pitcher. And they haven't shown on the broadcast that there's somebody warming up for the Braves, but I'm pretty sure there is, right? I mean, it's been a rough night for the Braves starting pitcher. The 3-2 pitch to Smith is outside for ball 4. So the bases are now loaded for the Dodgers. Tommy Edman will come to the plate. So Hernandez at third. Conforto at second, Smith at first, Tommy Edman the batter, one out here in the bottom of the third inning. Dodgers 3, Braves nothing. Dodgers trying to put this game away early, right? That's exactly what you got to do if you're the Dodgers. Try to put this game away early, which would be super important for the Dodgers, right? Put this game away early is, that's exactly, it'd be really, it's hard to come back, when you're down 6-7 runs, right? It's very difficult. It's not impossible. We saw the Dodgers come back in the World Series against the Yankees, but this is a big moment for Grant Holmes and the Braves, right? And also a big moment for the Dodgers, right? You don't want Tommy Edman, grounding into a double play right here and giving the Braves momentum, right? So this is definitely an important moment for the Dodgers to try to, put this game out of reach early, right, in the third inning. It's only the third inning, right? It's not like this game's been moving along fast. It's been moving pretty slow tonight because there's been a lot of base runners, a lot of offense for the Dodgers. So that's been the difference. So here we go. Tommy Edman, the batter. First pitch to Edman is outside for ball one. Bases loaded for the Dodgers. Dodgers 3, Braves nothing. It's a big opportunity for Tommy Edman to do some real damage on the Braves. The 1-0 pitch to Edman is going to be hit foul up the first base line. You're talking about how, Tommy Edman was never known as a home run pitcher, never a home run hitter, never known as a player that had power. But here with the Dodgers, he's worked on his swing, and he's been a different hitter. There's no doubt about it. 1-1 pitch to Edman is going to be hit to center field. This should be played by the center fielder Harris II. He makes a catch, but Hernandez will tag up, and the Dodgers lead 4-0. A sacrifice fly for Tommy Edman. That's all you ask for from your players, right? I mean, if you can't always hit a home run, you can't always hit the ball out of the ballpark, but if you can move the runners, get a sacrifice fly, that's an important thing, right? Max Muncy will come to the plate, 1-for-1 today with a single. So the Dodgers have first and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. They lead 4-0 against the Braves. Dodgers came into this game with a 5-0 record. Braves 0-4 after getting swept this weekend by the Pajes out in San Diego. First pitch to Muncy is going to be fouled up the first base line. Holmes with 71 pitches. Question is going to be, is this the last inning for Grant Holmes, right? The night he's having, this might be it for Grant. 0-1 pitch to Muncy is outside for ball one to make the count 1-1. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. First and third for Muncy. He's 1-for-1 today with a single. 1-1 pitch is going to be outside for ball two. We've seen Holmes try to work that outside off-speed pitch, trying to get that outside corner, but he's been missing all night long, right? It's been so many 2 and 3 ball counts in this game. The 2-1 pitch is upstairs for ball three. And just another, the Dodgers have been patient too, taking the pitches, not swinging at these pitches that are clearly out of the strike zone, which is also another reason why the Dodgers are leading this game, because they've been patient against Holmes, right? Not swinging at bad pitches. 3-1 pitches can be hit right to the second baseman of the Braves for the line out, and we go to the fourth inning with the Dodgers leading 4-0. Go to the top of the fourth inning. Dodgers leading 4-0 against Atlanta Braves. Mike Nelson here with you. The Braves still looking for their first hit of the game. And we know the Dodgers have been swinging the bats. Grant Holmes has had a tough night, to say the least. The first pitch to Matt Olson, the number 3 hitter for the Braves, is upstairs for ball 1. Matt Olson, player, the most dangerous hitter the Braves have for sure. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs for ball 2 to make the count 2-0. Olson's got to be the most dangerous hitter, the guy that you got to watch out for. And they're showing a pretty interesting stat right now. The 2-0 pitch is down and away for ball 3. The Braves have 25 scoreless innings, right, so far. That's their most in 11 years. They've gone 25 innings without scoring a run, which is kind of insane. 3-0 pitch is outside for ball 4. It's just been a really slow start for the Braves this year. Offensively, as Glasnow does not like the call. Dave Roberts does not like the call there. It looked like that 3-0 pitch was a strike, looking at the replay. And a tough call from the umpire, for sure. The Braves have a base runner here with the walk to Olson. Marcell Ozuna comes up to the plate. He walked his first time up. Braves still looking for their first hit of the game. First pitch to Ozuna is outside for ball 1. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing here in the top of the fourth inning. 1-0 pitch to Ozuna is in there for strike 1. If you're the Braves, you got to find a way to get some runs, soon, right? To get back in this game. The Dodgers have really put this game away early. 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Big swing from Ozuna to make the count 1-2. And I've been really impressed with Tyler Glasnow. I'm sure the ones that are watching this game as well, you got to be really impressed with what Glasnow is doing. The 1-2 pitch is fouled up the third base line. He's looked really confident out there. He looks like a pitcher that did not have off-season surgery at all. The velocity has been very high, 97, 98 miles an hour. The curveballs look really good tonight, and that's definitely a good sign for the Dodgers. 1-2 pitch is going to be swung on and missed for strike 3. A big strikeout for Tyler Glasnow. Pitch was upstairs, getting Ozuna to swing through that. That's the 6th strikeout tonight for Tyler Glasnow. Look at that. That pitch is clearly up and out of the strike zone. And Glasnow gets Ozuna to swing right through that. So now we got Ozzy Albies coming up. He walked his first time up. First pitch to Albies is down and away for ball 1. The Braves had a bit of a rally going back in the second, but Glasnow was able to kind of get through that with no damage done, right? 1-0 pitch to Albies is down and away for ball 2 as Will Smith's got to stop this, but the runner at first, Olson, does not take off for second. Great stop from Will Smith. Perfectly executed. He gets in front of the pitch. The ball gets right in front of him. Stands up. Perfectly executed by the Dodgers catcher, right? 2-0 pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. Great pitch from Glasnow and a key moment in that at bat, right? 2-0. You don't want to throw another ball and make it 3-0. The 2-1 pitch to Albies is going to be hit foul up the first base line to make the count 2-2. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing here in the top of the fourth inning. 1 out. Braves got a runner at first in Olson. 2-2 pitch to Albies is upstairs for ball 3. Pitch got away from Glasnow. So full count to Ozzy. Kind of important the Braves get something going here. 3-2 pitch is going to be hit to the center fielder Pajes. He makes the out, line out. So 2 outs now here in the top of the fourth inning. Olson will retreat back to first. And now Drake Baldwin, the Braves catcher, will come to the plate. Left-handed batter for the Braves. First pitch to Baldwin is going to be chopped up to Betts, and he'll step on second for the out. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Dodgers leading 4-0. Back here on Dodgers Digest. Mike Nelson here with you. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. Going to the bottom of the 4th inning. Braves still looking for their first hit of the game. It's been a great start for Glasnow so far. Holmes still in the game for the Braves. First pitch to Kike Hernandez is swung on a miss for strike 1. So Grant Holmes staying in the game despite having 76 pitches and having a rough start to say the least. 0-1 pitch is down and away for ball 1, but the Braves not wanting to go to the bullpen too early, I guess, here in the 4th inning. But Holmes might reach 100 pitches in the 4th inning. He's already got 77. 1-1 pitch to Hernandez is down and away for ball 2. And we've just seen that all night long from the Braves starting pitcher Holmes. Just not in control. A lot of pitches, way out of the strike zone. And the Dodgers also been taking, too. They've been taking bad pitches, for balls, right? 2-1 pitches inside for ball 3. Good take there from Hernandez. So another 3-ball count. The count will go to 3-1 to Kike Hernandez, the number 8 hitter for the Dodgers. Andy Pajes batting 9th. A 3-1 pitch is going to be hit right to the first baseman Olsen. He'll pick it up and step on first. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Kike Hernandez will now, or I should say Andy Pajes will now come up to the plate. Hernandez got a good swing on that, and Olsen was just in the right, perfect spot, right, to make that play. Went off his glove, he picked it up, stepped on first for the out. First pitch to Pajes is outside for ball 1. So Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. Bottom of the 4th, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, and nobody on for the Dodgers. Pajes stole a home run earlier in this game from Drake Baldwin, right on the wall. 1-0 pitch is down and away for ball 2. Make the count 2-0. So Pajes showing good defense and good offense as well to start off the year. 2-0 pitch is going to be hit foul up the right field line out of play. Of course, Andy Pajes, a player that's been playing every day so far in the outfield, right? Kind of taking that spot away from Taylor and Outman. Through, of course, what he's been doing the last few years, few weeks, I should say, spring training and all that. As Pajes fouls that off of the backstop, the backstop netting. The count will go to 2-2. And that's how you earn your spot in the major leagues, right? I mean, if you're a player that's on the bubble and you do well in spring, you're going to earn some playing time. That's what Pajes has done. 2-2 pitch is going to be hit to the third baseman Riley. He'll throw it over to first to Olsen for 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Shohei Ohtani will now come up to the plate. He struck out his last time up, walked his first, 0 for 1 today. Third up bat of the night. And look, every time you hear, think about it, the crowd is cheering. Ohtani's up. There's nobody on base, bottom of the 4th inning, but still everybody's got their phones out. What is Ohtani going to do, right? First pitch to Ohtani's in there for strike one. Every time this guy is batting, it's almost like they got to cut to national TV, right? I mean, that's kind of how it's turning into here with Shohei. 0-1 pitch is upstairs for ball one. This morning we had a debate, myself and Brad, talking about Ohtani. And are we seeing the greatest baseball player ever, right? That's what we were talking about this morning. The 1-1 pitch to Ohtani is going to be hit foul up the first base line. Colin Cowherd last week, famous, sports broadcaster, national sports talk radio host, talked about how Ohtani, in his eyes, is the greatest baseball player he's ever seen, right? That's something that I think a lot of fans are going to be talking about for years, right? Is this the best ball player ever? 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed as Ohtani strikes out again. Doesn't look like the best ball player there for sure. The best baseball player there as he strikes out. We go to the 5th inning with the Dodgers leading 4-0. Go to the top of the 5th inning. Mike Nelson with you. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. Glasnow still on the mound. Braves still looking for their first hit tonight. First pitch to De La Cruz is upstairs for ball one. One 0 pitch is down and away for ball one. And that's going to be the big, question mark for sure with the Braves offense. The innings as a 1-1 pitch is down and away for actually, they're going to call that a strike. Looked like it was low and out, but they're going to say strike 2 there on that call. So the count will go to 1-2 here. 1-2 pitch is going to be check swing. They appeal the first. They say no swing. So the count will go to 2-2. 6 strikeouts tonight for Glasnow. He's been super good, to say the least, right? He's looked very good. 2-2 pitch is fouled away. And that's going to be the, Dodgers have such a good bullpen that the 4-run lead, you definitely feel confident This team can close it out, right? And then Wade Glasnow is going here, his first start of 25. Look out. 2-2 pitch is going to be a check swing, and they're going to say it's a strike. The umpire calls that a strike. So that's Glasnow's 7th strikeout of the game. And the Braves have one out here now, here in the top of the 5th inning. Jared Kelenic will be the batter for the Braves. Kelenic, the right fielder for the Braves. First pitch to Kelenic is going to be down and away for ball 1. Popped up his first time up at .231 last season. 15 homers, 45 RBI. 1-0 pitch is going to be hit foul up the first base line to make the count 1-1. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. One out here in the top of the 5th. Braves have nobody on. Braves still looking for their first hit of the game. 1-1 pitch is going to be hit to the second. That will be the first hit in between first and second. Kelenic breaks through. So the Braves have a runner at first here in the top of the 5th inning. Good swing there from Kelenic. Hitting that between first and second. Yeah, there's no way, of course, anybody could have fielded that. Of course, with the shift rules in place, probably, maybe before that would have been an out, right? But now we have, of course, those shift rules as Arcia will be the batter now. He takes strike 1, shortstop for the Braves. Orlando Arcia, 17 homers last year. 0-1 pitch is going to be down and away for ball 1. He peeled first, but no swing. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing here in the top of the 5th. 1-1 pitch is going to be hit to the third baseman, Muncy. He'll go to second for 1, and they got him. Just caught Kelenic at second. So kind of a strange choice if you're Muncy. I would have went to first there, but Muncy goes to second, but they're able to get Kelenic. So 2 outs now here in the top of the 5th. As, of course, Albies will be at first on that fielder's choice, and Michael Harris II will now come to the plate. Michael Harris II has struck out twice today. So 0 for 2 today, the leadoff batter for the Braves. Never good when your leadoff batter is striking out, right? That's like the worst case scenario, and that's what's been going on for the Braves tonight. As the first pitch to Harris II is going to be hit foul. That's the worst thing. You have, your leadoff batter striking out. You don't want that happening, right? You want your leadoff batter making contact. So the Braves have a runner at first, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. Only 1 hit so far, as that's Harris will knock in the second hit for the Braves. So a little bit of a rally going now. Austin Riley will now come to the plate. Austin Riley has struck out twice today, 0 for 2. So the Braves have first and second yet again. They've been able to compile that first and second before in this game, but unable to cash in. First and second, 2 outs. Austin Riley, the number 2 hitter, batting. Top of the 5th inning. This might be the last shot the Braves have to kind of get back in this game, right? This might be last call, right? This might be it. The way this Dodgers bullpen is, they lock it down. First pitch to Riley is going to be in there for strike 1 upstairs. 256 batter last year, 19 homers, 56 RBI. Hit 256 last year. 0-1 pitch to Riley, swung on and missed. Down and away to make the count 0-2. Riley's already struck out twice today and a strikeout away from striking out a third. You can see Glasnow is really on Riley, knowing exactly what pitch to throw. Runners at first and second. The 0-2 pitch to Riley is going to be swung on and missed for strike 3. Big strikeout for Glasnow as Riley strikes out for a third time. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Dodgers leading 4-0. We're back here on Dodgers Digest. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. Braves have only had 2 hits today. Picked up both of those hits in the 5th. So Glasnow was throwing a no-hitter through 4. As De Los Santos will be the new pitcher for the Braves. 2-3-4 for the Dodgers. Enyel De Los Santos pitched for 3 different teams last year. Padres, White Sox, and Yankees. The 1-0 pitch to Betts is in there for strike 1. The count will go to 1-1. So Holmes exits the game after 4 innings. It definitely was a rough day for the Braves starting pitcher. The 1-1 pitch to Betts is going to be hit to left center field, but Harris, the second, has got it. So line out. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Teoscar Hernandez will not come to the plate. Perfectly played by Harris the second. You know, definitely played it perfectly, that line drive, making the out. So Teoscar will now come to the plate, facing nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing, 1 out. First pitch to Hernandez is going to be in there for strike 1. So far, De Los Santos has looked pretty good here for the Braves. Relief pitcher coming in for Grant Holmes. 0-1 pitch is going to be swung on and missed for strike 2. Curveball outside. 0-2 the count. We're talking about how Teoscar has been swinging a lot of those curveballs away, which has been how they've been getting them out. So we see the catcher Baldwin set up outside. It's actually hit inside pitch that Hernandez crushes to left field for a base hit. So the catcher Baldwin was set up outside, but De Los Santos actually threw that inside. I don't think that was going to be an inside pitch, right? It was a fastball left inside, and Hernandez ends up crushing that for a hit. So the Dodgers have a runner first here in the bottom of the 5th. Michael Conforto will now come to the plate. Conforto, of course, picked up a double his last time up. A walk and a double. Picked up his first RBI. First pitch to Conforto is in there for strike one. Good fastball at 96. Runner at first, one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. It's been Dodgers right from the beginning, all night long. 0-1 pitch is going to be hit foul and out of play. Just narrowly missed, as we're showing the replay on that double, just narrowly missed hitting that home run in his last at-bat, right? Conforto. 0-2 pitch is going to be hit foul and out of play behind home plate. Count will remain 0-2. 9 pitches so far for De Los Santos, the relief pitcher for the Braves. You know, we talked about it on the broadcast last week. Conforto's numbers outside of San Francisco were really good, as the 0-2 pitch is fouled away up the first base line. He was very good outside of San Francisco, playing for the Giants last year, having almost 20 home runs on the road, hitting, over 260. So, hoping he can kind of bounce, continue that into the 25 season. Now we're in Dodger blue, right? And today, batting cleanup with the Freeman injury. 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So big strikeout for De Los Santos. And Will Smith will now come to the plate. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the fifth. Hernandez still at first. Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. $11 pitches so far for Enyel. First pitch to Smith is in there for strike 1. 248 average last year. 20 homers, 75 RBIs. Dodgers are very lucky to have an offensive catcher they can rely upon. 0-1 pitch to Smith is down and away for ball 1, as Hernandez will take off for second. He'll steal the base. Good heads-up base running for Teoscar Hernández. Now the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. As Baldwin had a hard time fielding that. The ball kind of got stuck under the umpire's leg there. And Hernandez heads up base running, taking off for second. That's what you want. You don't want your base runners falling asleep there if they're on first, right? And aggressive base running with 2 outs. So now a base hit could give the Dodgers another run. Let's see if Smith can take advantage of that. 1-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 2 to make the count 2-1. Heads up base running for sure, getting into scoring position, which is what you want. You want your runners in scoring position at all times, right? So you could keep scoring runs. That's the point of baseball. The 2-1 pitch is going to be outside for ball 3 to make the count 3-1. As Tommy Edman is a batter on deck. You see the wave going at Dodger Stadium. A lot of fans getting into it with the game being one-sided as it is. The 3-1 pitch is in there for strike 2. You just don't get the same experience going to a baseball game anywhere else than at Dodger Stadium, right? There's no doubt about it. The Dodgers have their own experience when it comes to going to Dodger Stadium. There's nothing else like it. The 3-2 pitch is going to be hit up the middle for a base hit, and Hernandez will score to make the score 5-0. Like we talked about, Hernandez heads up base running, gaining into scoring position, and Will Smith takes advantage, getting the RBI hit. And, you needed Will Smith to get a hit there with 2 outs. So that's exactly what he does, getting the ball up the middle. And the Dodgers now lead 5-0 here in the bottom of the fifth. Perfectly executed, right? Pitch was inside, looked like he was going to get jammed. But Will Smith gets a good swing on it. There's a lot of power on that swing. And the Dodgers lead 5-0. Tommy Edman will now be at the plate. First pitch to Edman is going to be pop foul and out of play. So Enyel de Los Santos comes in and gives up a run. Kind of continuing what Grant Holmes did all night long, right? Runners in scoring position. But see, here's the difference that, other teams aren't doing. The Dodgers are taking advantage of putting those runners in scoring position, right? And they're putting those runs in. 0-1 pitch to Edman is swung on and missed. That's the difference between the good and great teams in baseball, right? There's some teams really struggle with runners in scoring position. They really struggle to get runs in, and the ones that don't struggle tend to win their games, right? And that's what the Dodgers have been doing so far in tonight's game. So the count is 0-2 to Edman. Smith at first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2 pitch is going to be hit foul off the first base line. Edman, of course, had a sacrifice fly his last time up. Big RBI for the Dodgers tonight. The 0-2 pitch to Edman is going to be hit up the right field for a base hit. So that's drops in for a base hit. So the Dodgers now have first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning as Edman knocks in the hit. And now Max Muncy will come to the plate. Dodgers put another runner in scoring position. This time it's Will Smith. Good swing there from Edman, looking at the replay. Kelenic had no shot to make that out. It dropped. Kelenic was playing deep, though. The right fielder definitely was playing deep. So there's probably if he was playing a little more shallow, he might have had his shot. But was playing super deep with Edman being a left-handed batter. As Edman, of course, pulled that into right field and for a base hit. Now a meeting on the mound with the pitcher De Los Santos. And that's going to be the key here. The Dodgers, all season long are going to have games like this, right? Where they're clearly favored to win. They just have to take care of business, right? Put the game away early, which is what the Dodgers did tonight. Muncy gets first pitch in there for strike one. Muncy 1 for 2 today. Hit .232 last season. Looks like a beach ball has made it onto the field. Umpires have to pick that ball and probably pop it, right? Usually what they do with the beach balls when you go to a game, right? Probably that beach ball has been popped, right? Big party tonight at Dodger Stadium for sure. 0-1 pitch to Muncy is fouled away to make the count 0-2. Always a party at Dodger Stadium, right? That's always how it is. 0-2 pitch to Muncy is upstairs for ball 1 to make the count 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is going to be swung on and missed for strike 3. So we'll go to the 6th inning with the Dodgers leading 5-0. here on Dodgers Digest. Dodgers leading 5-0 going into the sixth inning. 8 strikeouts for Tyler Glasnow has been the big story. And that was going to be the question mark, how well Glasnow would do. He's now exited the game after 5. It looked like Glasnow wanted to stay in, but Dodgers take him out, especially after that long 5th inning, as Jack Dreyer will be the new pitcher for the Dodgers. And yeah, you see Dave Roberts giving a long hug there to Glasnow. And the Dodgers could not risk Glasnow, right? For sure. Olsen, the batter for the Braves. Count is 1-1. Dreyer, the new pitcher for the Dodgers. Dreyer, brand new pitcher, right? Came up through the minor league system. He's looked great his first couple games for the Dodgers. And first couple games in baseball for him. He's never played in Major League Baseball, right? Count will go to 2-1. And, every inning for Dreyer is a new learning experience, right? He's only pitched 2 innings in his baseball career. 2-1 pitch to Olsen is hit foul up the first base line. So, yeah, if this was a playoff game, we could have potentially saw Glasnow come out for the 6th, right? It was only 79 pitches. You probably would have saw Glasnow come out, right? He only gave up 2 hits through 5. So, probably would have come out to pitch. There's a 2-2 pitch is down and away to make the count 3-2. But, that's always a talking point, right? Taking out your pitcher, when to leave him in, when to take him out, that has been debated for decades, right? And now it's even more debated with the rise of analytics, right? The 3-2 pitch is upstairs for ball 4, and Jack Dreyer comes in and, throws a walk, right? Leadoff walk for the Braves, and Marcell Ozuna will come to the plate. So this is a heart of the lineup for the Braves. So kind of a dangerous moment, because this guy, Dreyer, only has 2 games under his Major League career, and he's facing, Major League talent. These are like very good hitters that he's facing, right? Ozuna had 39 homers, 104 RBIs last year. So this guy's no joke. First pitch to Ozuna is in there for strike 1. You just hope that Dreyer could get like a strikeout, just to give him some confidence here. You don't want him to get Ozuna on, right? That would be the worst case scenario, right? 0-1 pitch to Ozuna is in there, down and away for ball 1. That would be like the worst case. You don't want him to get on. You don't want the Braves to kind of start to build momentum here in a game where they're, trailing 5 runs, right? In the 6th inning. The 1-1 pitch to Ozuna is going to be popped way up, and Mookie Betts is in the outfield trying to make this play, and he's got it. So one out here in the top of the 6th. Olsen is at first, but a big out for Dreyer and the Dodgers. Ozzie Albies comes up to the plate. Albies 0 for 1 today with the walk. A double play would be big, right? Get the Braves into a double play. That'd be big. First pitch to Albies is down and away for ball 1. We've seen that curveball that Dreyer's been throwing here on the inside corner, trying to get the batters to swing. He hasn't been successful so far. The 1-0 pitch to Albies is hit to right field, and Hernandez has got it. So 2 outs down here in the top of the 6th. As Olsen stranded at first base. That's been the story. The Braves unable to move those runners, right? Can't get those runners. They've had some opportunities with runners, at second base and all that, but they just can't seem to move the runners on with contact, and that just does not work, right? Drake Baldwin will come now to the plate. Grounded out his last time up. First pitch to Baldwin is in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. And that was a good curveball there from Dreyer, right? Facing a left-handed batter, right? Good pitch there from the left-handed pitcher. As the next pitch is an inside fastball swung on and missed by Baldwin. Lefty-lefty matchup. Always kind of a risk for sure. So 2 strikes on Baldwin here in the top of the 6th. 0-2 pitches down and away for ball 1. But Jack Dreyer, he's looked pretty good so far in his outings here for the Dodgers coming out of the bullpen. A guy that's been through the Dodgers minor league system, Finally got a shot this year with the big club. Pitched out in the Japan series. The 1-2 pitch is going to be outside for ball 2. And that's important for young players like Dreyer to gain confidence against facing the heart of the Braves lineup here. See if we can get through. 2-2 pitches in there for strike 3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Dodgers still leading 5-0. Back here on Dodgers Digest. Chavez, the new pitcher for the Braves. First pitch to Hernandez upstairs for ball 1. And they're showing right now the World Series ball that, of course, was the final out as the next pitch is upstairs for ball 2 to make it count 2-0. They're showing the World Series ball that the Dodgers basically got the final out with, right? And it's going to be an auction. The proceeds are going to benefit the LA Fire Relief efforts, and it's pretty crazy. That ball that the Dodgers used to get the final out, right? The count is now 2-1. 2-1 pitch is going to be inside for ball 3. Chavez facing Kike Hernandez, the batter for the Dodgers, the number 8 hitter. Third pitcher used for the Braves tonight. 3-1 pitch is going to be popped foul and out of play. Dodgers 5, Braves nothing. Bottom of the 6th inning. It's been definitely a game the Dodgers have dominated from start to finish, and they're 12 outs away, or 9 outs away from improving to 6-0, right? Coming into this game with a 5-0 record. Braves coming into this game with an 0-4 record. So it's been a bad start for the Braves, to say the least. But this game is still not over yet. It's not, of course, I think this game is over. Still got to get 9 more outs, right? It's a 3-2 pitch there. That is it deep to left field, and that is gone. Home run. Dodgers lead 6-0 as Hernandez crushes that out to left field. His second homer of the year. A player that was signed like a month ago, right? We didn't know if this guy was going to be wearing Dodger blue about a month ago. He was one of the late signings for the Dodgers. Had his stomach flu this past week and already has a couple home runs. So Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. As Hernandez crushes that out of the ballpark, out to left field. And Andy Pajes will now come up to the plate. Pajes fouls it out of play. 12 homers last year for Kike, but as we know in the playoffs, this guy was huge. And already 2 home runs to start off the year. 0-1 pitch is in there for ball 1 to Pajes. So maybe we're going to get more than 12 home runs this year from Kike. That's going to be a big question, right? The over-under on how many home runs we get from Kike Hernandez in 25. 1-1 pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. For strike 2, I should say, to make the count 1 and 2. 1-2 pitch is going to be outside for ball 2. So no outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dodgers already getting a home run to kick off this 6th. It's been one of those days where the Dodgers completely dominate as the 2-2 pitch is hit to center field. Harris, the second, has got it for 1 out. So we'll now go to the top of the lineup with Ohtani. 0 for 2 today with a couple strikeouts and a walk. Has yet to reach, or actually, you only reached once tonight. No hits yet. 0 for 2 today. Kind of a quiet night offensively. Did score a run, of course. 0-2 pitch is down and away for ball 1. There's Ohtani. The cheers already for Shohei, and there's like nobody on base, and people are already cheering for Shohei, right? 1-0 pitch is going to be outside for ball 2, and Chavez is not trying to throw anything here to Ohtani to get him to hit. He's being very careful. The Braves pitcher. 2-0 pitch is going to be outside for ball 3. Count will go to 3-0. And that's been Ohtani his whole career, right? Going back to the years with the Angels. This guy was always a patient hitter. Always didn't swing at bad pitches. 3-0 pitches in there for strike 1. It's always been something that Ohtani has been about, right? Not going to swing at bad pitches. The 3-1 pitch to Ohtani is down and away for ball 4. So Ohtani will pick up his second walk of the game. And Mookie Betts will now come to the plate. That's been, like I said, the story with Ohtani. Just a player that's been patient. Doesn't swing at bad pitches. And, is able to walk and get on base, too. Not just swing for power. Betts 1 for 3 today with a single. First pitch to Betts is in there for strike 1. So is the steal on for Ohtani, right? That's the big question now, right? Are the Dodgers going to have Ohtani steal here, right? Up 6-0, probably not, right? You would say, why risk injury? But we'll see. 0-1 pitch to Betts. It's down away. There goes Ohtani, just as I was talking about it. And he steals the base, his second of the year. Just as I was talking about it. So the Dodgers have a runner at second base. The crowd goes wild at Dodger Stadium. And, Ohtani was on that, right? And I've never seen a crowd get this loud for a stolen base, right? As Betts is going to hit this to the shortstop. Albies, he gets it to Olsen at first, and Ohtani goes to third, so Dodgers 90 feet away from scoring another run, but now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Betts moves the runner. Teoscar Hernández will now come up to the plate. Of course, Hernandez with the big home run earlier today, 2-run homer. The difference so far. Braves, no runs yet. Dodgers 6, Braves 0. As Hernandez hits this to center field, and Harris the second has got it. We'll go to the 7th inning with the Dodgers leading 6-0. here on a Dodgers Digest. Going to the 7th inning. Alex Vesia, the new pitcher for the Dodgers. First pitch to De La Cruz is in there for strike one. Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. Kike Hernandez adding another home run to the Dodgers' plethora of offense tonight. Vesia, the third pitcher for the Dodgers today. 0-1 pitch is in there for strike two. Chris Taylor making his season debut. Coming in for Teoscar Hernández. Pajes moving to right. Taylor going into center field, I should say, as the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed by De La Cruz for the first out of the 7th. Pitch that was down and away in the dirt, getting De La Cruz to swing right through that. So we'll see. Chris Taylor hasn't played yet in the 25 season. First time we've seen him, hopefully he'll get enough bat. He's been a player that we have talked about a lot here on Dodgers Digest, right? With the trade rumors, whether the Dodgers going to trade this guy or not. As Kelenic, the new batter for the Braves. First pitch to Kelenic is in there for strike one. Jared Kelenic, the right fielder today for the Braves. He's been a player, like we said, Kelenic 1 for 2 today with a single. The Taylor situation is, it's been a question mark, right? Whether this guy's going to get traded or not, and interested to see what he could do tonight. As Kelenic fouls this way to make the count 0-2. So Vesia looked pretty good here so far. World champion, right? Alex Vesia, will always be remembered as one of the important players in this Dodgers bullpen during the 24 playoff run. The bullpen games. Very important pitcher for the Dodgers. The 0-2 pitch to Kelenic is down and away for ball one. So 1 out here in the top of the 7th, nobody on. Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. Braves with only 2 hits tonight. 1-2 pitch is going to be hit to the second baseman Edman. He'll get it to Hernandez at first. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Freddie Freeman getting injured in the shower earlier today and not being able to start in tonight's game, or not even dressed for tonight's game. He's at the ballpark, but not able to play. Re-injuring that ankle. So Kike Hernandez slipping in, starting at first tonight. So Orlando Arcia, the batter for the Braves, as Arcia pops his foul now to play. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Nobody on. You see a lot of fans still at tonight's game, which has been pretty awesome because we saw a lot of fans taking off opening day. And tonight, the fans are all still there. So that's obviously great to see. 0-1 pitch is going to be popped up. Hernandez getting under this, and he makes the out. 7th inning stretch, Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. here at Dodgers Digest. Chavez still the pitcher for the Braves. Michael Conforto the batter. The count will go to 1-0. Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. As a 1-0 pitch is going to be in there for strike one. Walk and an RBI double today for Conforto. 1-1 pitch is going to be swung on and missed for strike two. They make the count 1-2. It's been a super offensive day for the Dodgers, which we saw all year long, right? Last year in 24, I should say. One of the best offensive outputs in baseball history. 1-2 pitches swung on and missed for strike three. As Conforto strikes out for the second time tonight. Will Smith will come up to the plate. Of course, Smith has a walk and an RBI hit tonight. First pitch to Smith is in there for strike one. Hit .248 last year. 20 homers, 75 RBI. 0-1 pitch to Smith is going to be popped foul and out of play. 0-2 the count. It's kind of the first time we've seen Dodger hitters kind of fall into counts early. All night long, it's been the opposite. 0-2 pitch to Smith is going to be outside for ball one. I don't recall any Dodger hitter striking out on 3 pitches tonight at all. So every at-bat has at least gone 4 pitches, 4 to 5. 1-2 pitches outside for ball two to make the count 2-2. Every at-bat, the Dodgers have been kind of extending it, right? Not just going down on 2-3 strikes, not just going down on 3 strikes, right? Which makes the pitch count go up for all these pitchers. 2-2 pitch is going to be hit to the in-between second and third for a hit. The Dodgers have yet another base runner in this game and another base hit for Will Smith. 30 pitches so far for Chavez, the Braves reliever. In between second and third there for a hit. And Tommy Edman will not come up to the plate. So the Dodgers had a runner at first. Bottom of the 7th inning, Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. First pitch to Edman is down and away for ball one. Sacrifice fly and a single today for Edman. Putting up a good offensive day for the Dodgers. 1-0 pitch is going to be hit to right field, going way back, but the Braves right fielder Kelenics got it for the second out of the inning, near the warning track, so you saw Edman give it a good ride on that swing. Max Muncy will come to the plate, third baseman tonight. But Edman's had some good swings, even on outs. He's had some good swings tonight, making some good contact, so it's always a good sign when batters are doing that, even if they're getting out, right? First pitch to Muncy's down and away for ball one. Like we talked about, Edman, a player that's underrated offensively. I think last year confirmed that, right? What he did in the playoffs for the Dodgers. 1-0 pitch to Muncy's down and away to make the count 2-0. Edman, was a player the Dodgers picked up in the deadline, right? They weren't even supposed to have him, right? Player that hadn't played the whole first half of 24. And, he ends up having a great second half and winning the NLCS MVP, 2-0 pitch to Muncy's outside for ball three. So 3-0 count. Runner at first for the Dodgers. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. 3-0 pitch is in there for strike one. And that's, what the 3-0 pitch, you're not going to give Muncy the green light in a 6-0 game, right? The 3-1 pitch is going to be a check swing, and they're going to say ball 4. So, walk for Max Muncy. Dodgers have first and second with 2 outs, and Kike Hernandez will come to the plate. Had a home run his last time up. 2 homers so far for Kike this season. One for 3 today with the solo shot. First pitch to Hernandez is in there for strike 1. So Jesse Chavez, Braves pitcher, now up to 38 pitches. Pitched the 6th, pitching the 7th, and they're keeping him out there. So this Braves reliever, not every day you see a reliever throw this much in the regular season. 0-1 pitch is down and away for ball 1. 40 pitches is a lot in today's modern game for a relief pitcher. So Braves just kind of waving the white flag tonight, I guess, by doing this. 1-1 pitch is down and away to make the count 2-1. There's certain games, I guess, as a team, you have to kind of just let go. It's such a long season in baseball that you can't win every game, right? That's kind of what the Braves are thinking right now. The 2-1 pitch to Hernandez is going to be hit to left field. And De La Cruz is under it. We go to the 8th inning with the Dodgers still leading 6-0. Back here on Dodgers Digest, we go to the 8th inning with the Dodgers leading 6-0. The Braves have had a rough day. It's been a rough start for them in this season. Came into this game with an 0-4 record. And, of course, the Dodgers had a 5-0 record going into this game. Tanner Scott, the new pitcher for the Dodgers. Scott coming over from San Diego this offseason. Top of the lineup for the Braves. Second pitch to Harris is down and away for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Harris the second. Couple strikeouts tonight. Got a single. 1 for 3. Tanner Scott, left-handed pitcher. 1-1 pitch is down and away for ball 2 to make the count 2-1. Scott, of course, blew the game on Friday. Dodgers able to come back and win that game, but definitely a rough way to make a big, your first real, relief opportunity as a pitcher, right, for the Dodgers. The count will go to 3-1. But tonight, totally different situation, right? A 6-run lead in the 8th inning, much different situation. 3-1 pitch is going to be hit to center field going way back, and it's gone. So the Braves pick up their first run of the game. Michael Harris, the second, hits a home run to make it 6-1. His first home run of the season. And, Tanner Scott, it's been kind of rough. We'll talk about this more on the postgame, but, Tanner Scott, it's been a little bit rough so far for Tanner, with the Dodgers, in his relief appearances. It's been a little concerning seeing Tanner Scott as the ball got thrown back into the field of play. It's kind of like Dodger Stadium is turning into Wrigley Field with the fans out there. As Austin Riley's going to hit this to right field, out to Andy Pajes. Makes the first out of the eighth. Of course, Taylor now at center field. Teoscar Hernández checking out. But the fans throwing the ball back, kind of like in Wrigley Field, right? You see that all the time in Chicago, the fans throwing the ball back. It's a little bit strange that that's happening now at Dodger Stadium, but I guess things, of course, are changing, right? As Scott facing Olsen now. The first pitch to Olsen is in there for strike one. Olsen with a couple walks today. 0-1 pitch to Olsen is in there for strike two to make the count 0-2. Top of the eighth inning, Dodgers 6, Braves 1. 0-2 pitch to Olsen is going to be swung on and missed for strike three. Big strikeout for Scott. 2 outs now here in the top of the eighth. And Marcell Ozuna will now come up to the plate. Scott giving up the home run to Michael Harris second, but settling in, right? I mean, that's, there's going to be, it's been a little bit, Scott seems like he's still not really in game form yet, right? It's kind of what you're seeing here from Scott early on. First pitch to Ozuna is in there for strike one. That's, it happens, right? There's going to be ups and downs with these guys. Scott is definitely not a guy I would trust in the ninth inning right now with the way he's pitching. 0-1 pitch to Scott is down and away for ball one to make the count 1-1. That's the thing. You don't really trust Scott right now to close out the game. The way he's kind of struggling in a way, right? 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed to make it 1-2. So 2 outs here in the top of the eighth. Michael Harris is second, getting a home run. Nobody on. Dodgers 6, Braves 1. 1-2 pitches upstairs to make it 2-2. 2-2 pitches down and away to make the count 3-2. Full count with 2 outs here in the top of the eighth. Three-two pitch is swung on and missed for strike three. We will go to the bottom of the eighth inning with the Dodgers leading 6-1. bottom of the 8th inning with the Dodgers leading 6-1 on the Atlanta Braves. It's been a fun day for sure if you're a Dodger fan. Dodgers have 9 hits. Braves only have 3 hits. They picked up their first run in the top of the 8th with Harris' second home run. Michael Harris' second, getting a solo shot, his first homer of the year. And tonight was, of course, the hoodie giveaway they're talking about on the broadcast. That's why it was such a big crowd tonight. Everybody wanted those Dodger hoodies. As Raisel Iglesias will be the new pitcher for the Braves. First pitch to Pajes is swung on and missed to make the count 0-1. Iglesias with a 1.95 ERA last season. 0-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Andy Pajes is the number 9 hitter. 1-1 pitch is fouled away up the first base line to make the count 1-2. 0 for 3 today for Andy Pajes. Still looking for his first hit of the game. 1-2 pitch is going to be hit foul up the third base line now. They're talking about how the Dodgers have 7 hits with 2 strikes in this game. Pretty crazy, right? 7 hits. Pretty wild. The 1-2 pitch to Pajes is outside for ball 2 to make the count 2-2. Teoscar Hernández checking out of this game early as the 2-2 pitch is going to be hit to the third baseman, Riley. He gets it to Olsen at first. So Pajes goes 0 for 4 today. And Shohei Ohtani will now come up. Ohtani with a couple walks today. Still looking for his first hit, his 5th bat of the game. And, a couple hits, a couple walks, a run, a stolen base, 0 for 2, a couple strikeouts. A lot of at-bats for Ohtani batting leadoff, right? First pitch to Ohtani's down and away to make the count 1-0. That's how it is that's why I think it's smart to put Ohtani, in the leadoff, because you get an extra bat usually out of Ohtani, right? Even in a game like this, a 1-0 pitch is down and away to make the count 2-0. Even in a game like this where it's 6-1, 2-0 pitch to Ohtani is going to be hit foul up the first base line. You get more extra bats for Ohtani in these sort of games, right? In any sort of game, right? Because he's a leadoff hitter, and that's what makes the difference, putting him in that leadoff spot, I would say. 2-1 pitch is in there for strike 2 to make the count 2-2. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th, nobody on for the Dodgers. They lead 6-1 on Atlanta. Ohtani asks for time. The 2-2 pitch to Ohtani is outside for ball 3. So full count, 3-2. 3-2 pitch is going to be right in between, right down the middle for strike 3. So Ohtani strikes out looking for his 3rd strikeout of the day. 0 for 3 today. Not every day you see Ohtani strike out looking, right? A little surprising. Mookie Betts will now come to the plate. So, big strikeout for Iglesias. Mookie 1 for 4 today. Mookie takes ball 1 down and away. One 0 pitch is going to be swung on and missed to make it 1-1 the count. One pitch is going to be hit to left field, and they make the out there. So we will go to the 9th inning with the Dodgers leading 6-1. going live here on Dodgers Digest. Mike Nelson here with you. Going to the ninth inning, Dodgers leading the Braves 6-1, 3 outs away from improving to 6-0. Which would be super incredible coming off a World Series championship. Luis Garcia, the new pitcher for the Dodgers, trying to get the save tonight. Ozzie Alves, the batter for the Braves. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Oh, one pitch to Alves is going to be hit foul off of the catcher Smith to make the count 0-2. We got a final out in Crypto.com Arena. The Lakers have defeated the Rockets 104-98. Whereas the Lakers trying to solidify their position in the playoffs, right? So we got a final out in L.A. against the Rockets team that's been pretty good this year for sure. Count is now 1-2 to Alves. 1-2 pitches outside and make it 2-2. Nobody out or nobody on here in the ninth inning. 2-2 pitch is going to be hit foul and out of play. Right now, of course, the definitely what we would call garbage time in baseball, right? A 5-run lead for the Dodgers here in the ninth. Braves have to get something going if they want a shot, right? 2-2 pitch is going to be hit right up the middle, right? So, got a lead-off hit for the Braves for Ozzie Alves. So, Drake Baldwin will not come to the plate. And, that's where you have to be careful, right? It's not over till it's over, right? So, Drake Baldwin, catcher, 0 for 3 today. Braves trying to get some sort of rally going. A team that's went 28 innings without scoring a run until Michael Harris II had that solo shot. Pretty crazy. First pitch to Baldwin is upstairs for ball one. So Garcia has come in and hasn't looked his best here for the Dodgers here. Kind of like what we saw with Scott in the eighth. It hasn't been the best. 1-0 pitch is upstairs for ball two. 2-0 the count. A little bit wild here. The Dodgers closer. One of the late free agent signings for the Dodgers. 2-0 pitch to Baldwin is going to be hit foul. Actually hit to the second baseman, Edman. He'll go to first for the out. He's not able to go to Betts to get the double play, so he just gets one out. So one out here in the ninth inning, fielder's choice. And Albies will go to second. So lead off, runner in scoring position for the Braves with one out here in the ninth. It looks like the Braves will have a pinch hitter. White, the pinch hitter for the Braves. Eli White. First pitch to White is in there for strike one. Albies at second. Dodgers 6, Braves 1, top of the ninth inning. Garcia, the pitcher. 0-1 pitch is fouled up the third base line. One out here in the top of the ninth inning. These games tend to have low energy, it seems like, in these sort of games, right? A lot of fans have left. 0-2 pitch is going to be hit off of the catcher Smith. Good thing he's wearing a cup. Went right off the cup. But it's just, we've talked about this before. The catchers have such a difficult job in Major League Baseball. They go through so much. It's just crazy. But, yeah, definitely a rough day if you're a catcher, right? It's always difficult. 0-2 the count to Eli White, as White will swing and miss for strike 3. Pitch down and away. Thought he got a piece of that, but he didn't. So 2 outs now here in the top of the 9th inning. Dodgers an out away from winning this game. Jared Kelenic, the right fielder, will come up for the Braves. First pitch to Kelenic is going to be swung on and missed. So the count will go to 0-1. 2 strikes away for Garcia. Albie still stranded at second. 1 for 3 today for Jared Kelenic. Right fielder today for the Braves. 0-1 pitch to Kelenic is going to be hit foul up the first base line. Count will go to 0-2. Strike away. The few fans that are left have stood up at Dodger Stadium, right? A lot of fans took off after the 7th inning stretch, it seems. Especially after the Kike Hernandez home run, making it 6-0, a lot of fans decided to head for the exits early out at Dodger Stadium. 0-2 pitch is going to be down and away for ball 1 to make it 1-2. And tomorrow, Dustin May going to be pitching tomorrow. We'll be bringing you the live watch along here on the channel. It's going to be his first game in Major League Baseball in almost 2 years, since May of 23. Pretty exciting. 1-2 pitches outside and make it 2-2. Pretty crazy. Almost 2 years without pitching in Major League Baseball. Tommy John surgery, the esophageal, surgery he had last year. So, yeah, definitely scary moments for Dustin, but he'll be back in baseball. 2-2 pitches upstairs to make it a full count, 3-2. That's going to be the big story tomorrow. How is Dustin May going to pitch in his first real game in almost 2 years? Kind of crazy, right? He was one of the pitchers that everybody was really looking at back in 22-23 as being one of the, star pitchers for the Dodgers, right? 3-2 pitch to Kelenic is fouled away to stay alive. 19 pitches for Garcia, who came in to close out this game. It hasn't been a quiet or easy, 3 outs for sure, right? It's the Braves are definitely fighting, to say the least. The 3-2 pitch to Kelenic is going to be hit foul and out of play again. So Kelenic continues to fight here. 20 pitches now for Garcia here in the top of the 9th inning. I'll be still at second base for the Braves, right? Still unable to bring him across. So full count to Kelenic. Here we go. This is going to be swung on and miss for strike 3. The Dodgers get a 6-1 win over the Atlanta Braves. They'll be playing I Love LA. They improved to 6-0. It ties for the best start in LA Dodger history. The last team to start 6-0 in LA was the 1981 Dodgers, a team that, of course, won the World Series. And the best start in Dodger history was the 10-0 start that they had back in 1955, if I'm not mistaken. So, big start for the Dodgers this year, 6-0. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight's game. We'll be doing the post game pretty soon. I want to thank going to the comments here. Jay Villain Schilling, Kali, appreciate it. Rubio as well. Lakers win, that's right. Big win over the Rockets. But we'll be covering the post game here coming up. But as usual, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, let's go Dodgers. Woo!